Hi guys, welcome to day 15. So today is all about your digestive system, which basically means we're going to be doing twist after twist after twist after twist, because we basically want to really twist and open up everything inside our belly so that we give everything a chance to relax and release, for unsurprising reasons if we're talking about the digestive system. So for today, you're going to need a cushion, or you can also use a brick, a yoga brick. But again, as always, I'd rather use the things that I know that you have at home. So we're going to start off lying down with the cushion on our belly, so underneath our belly. Make it kind of bunchy, so it's quite big. And then come and lie down on it on your belly. Just got a bit on my mat. Mine's not really bunchy enough. You want to make it kind of round so that it goes right into the digestive system. Oh yeah, that's comfortable. Not the most comfortable thing in the world, but trust me, it's good for things. And then you can place one hand into each other, make like a little cup for your forehead, and just rest your forehead in your hands. And then we're going to focus on trying to breathe into our back. So you almost want to let the cushion or the brick, whatever you're using, push the breath into the back of the body. And on every exhale, really try to relax yourself deeper into the cushion or the brick. So you feel like you're giving yourself a really deep belly massage. And then as you sink deeper, just really gently rock yourself a little bit side to side. So then again, you really are making sure that you're giving everything a good massage. So it's just your pelvis that you're rocking side to side. And by now, you should feel a little bit more comfortable on it. Belly should feel a little bit more relaxed. And even the legs and the back should feel a little bit more relaxed. So then we're just going to take one more breath here. And then really gently lift your head, take yourself onto your elbows, and then roll off to the side a little and move the cushion out to the side. You can just put it to the side, we're not really going to use it again. And then just for a moment lie on your belly, which feels so nice when you've come off it. And again, just breathe into the back, breathe into the belly. See if maybe do you feel any different around the belly and around the back. I personally really feel like as soon as I come off, I feel so much more free and open around my belly and even around my ribs a bit. So now we're going to take our arms out to the sides in like a little box position, half box position, and turn our head to the right so that you're looking at your right wrist. Lift your chin a little bit so you have a lot of space through the throat and through the neck so that you can breathe nice and deeply. And then just bend your right knee. Not too much, don't bring it like right into your bum. Just bend it so it comes to like a 90-degree angle with your knee. And just point and flex the foot. Get that ankle to wake up. Any clicking is fine right now. and kind of to be expected. You just want to release the ankle as much as you can. And even the toes, give them a really good point and flex. Then we're going to do a kind of Feldenkrais movement. I don't know if you've heard of Feldenkrais, but he's a cool guy that came up with some great stuff for the spine. So I want you to press down into your left foot and just lift your right leg as high as you can without feeling any pain in your back. And then with that lift, you just take a breath in and you're going to bring yourself across to the left and stretch your left arm out in front of you. You're going to keep your knee down, get your foot to come down, your knee to stay down. So you end up all the way on the left side of the body. Your head comes onto your left arm and you feel a nice stretch throughout this side of the body. And then you really gently lift that leg and roll yourself back to your belly. Then come back down again. We're going to do that 4 more times. So bend the knee, flex the foot, lift the leg as high as you can without pain, and then take the leg across. Let your head come onto your arm, your knee stays down, and each time you might find that you can go a little bit further, and then slowly take it back. I'm going to come over a little bit closer to you because I've got the door right behind me. Each time you come back with your arms, back with your leg, you relax a second. You've got to give your body a second to kind of readjust. Then bend the knee again, flex the foot again. Lift the leg, take yourself across. As you're coming across, it's the leg that's leading you. You want to really focus on the leg being the thing that takes you across, not your back. And again, you lengthen through the knee, you lengthen through that foot. If you get knee pain in this position, generally it's just a bit of a sign of you having a lot of tightness around here and around the front of the thigh. It's not so much a thing of, oh, you shouldn't have pain there, but if it's really, really, really painful and bothering you, just don't bend the knee as much. Keep it with a little bit less of a bend so it's slightly more stretched out, and focus on just lengthening from here. Okay, so you don't want to feel pain, but that pain is really just an indication of something around here being a bit too tight. And then lift the leg and take it back and down. And again, bend the knee. I think that was number 3. Slide your arm out, take the leg across. Let that knee stay down, the foot stay down. Keep that foot flexed as well. And then again, bring it back. And then again, bend the knee, flex the foot. This is the last one. So on this last one, we're going to stay here. Take yourself across. Lovely. You might find on this last one, you get a lot more length. Now, from this position, I want you to press down into your right hand, so you bring the hand close to you. Keep your head very relaxed, don't lift it. Let your left arm come in as you lift yourself up. Then you can lift your head up as you lift up a bit taller. I might need to move a bit so I have a bit more space, but you're going to really try and turn that right knee, let that left leg slide into you, so then you end up, I'm going to turn around so you can see me, like this with your feet. So you've got your right foot attached to the front of your left thigh. Then you're going to take a nice big breath in. Don't worry about what happens in your left hip right now. Let the left sitting bone come slightly away from the floor. As it comes slightly away, you're going to breathe in and see if you can lengthen from that left hip to bring your hands around to the right side. Keep letting that left hip come with you, and then really gently you take both hands to that right side. Then you see if you can expand through your chest a bit. Again, keep that left hip coming with you, lengthening more through your spine, lengthening more through your waist. You really gently take your elbows down if you can. If that becomes very, very difficult and uncomfortable, you can just stay a bit higher. And then you relax your shoulders down the back and you take a big breath in. Now the funny thing is with this one is I'm sure it has a name. I pretty much know it has a name, like a yoga name. But I do this with the kids, like my kid classes, and it's just a deer. So that's all I know it as. It's a deer. I don't really know why it's a deer. I've never seen a deer sit like this in my life, but you know. Now from here, nice and gently come back up. Take yourself around. To come out of it, you go back the way that you came. So I'm not going to move around just so that I can show you. You take the legs back to where they were. And then you really gently bring yourself back onto the belly. Okay, so now we're on the other side. We're going to do the left side. So you're going to turn your head to the left. Keep looking at your left wrist. If it helps you to see what I'm doing, then obviously just turn yourself around. Now bend that left knee and flex the foot and point the foot. Okay, so remember we're just waking up that ankle first. Getting rid of any tension, any clicks, any clonks. And then keep it flexed. Press through your right leg. Lift that leg as high as you can without pain. And then take the leg across to the right. And let your head come onto your arm. Don't force this first one. It's just the first one, so it might not go as far as it will at the end. And then lift the leg. Take it back. And down. And then again, bend the knee. Flex the foot. Lift the leg. Take it across. Each time you might get it a little bit further. You're focusing on moving right from here, so you get the stretch right from your hip all the way down the front of that thigh to the knee. And then take it back. Again, bend the knee, flex the foot, lift the leg, take it across, stretch the arm out. See if you can make it go a little bit further. And then take it back. Again, bend the knee, flex the foot, lift the leg, take it across. I think this is number 4, so we've got one more. Take it back. And then last time, bend the knee, flex the foot, lift the leg, take it across. And like I said, you might find on the last one, you can take the leg a lot further. Now stay here with the leg. Just take your left arm in. Keep your head really heavy. I don't want you to lift your head up. That's the last thing that you lift. Push through your left arm. Start lifting yourself up, walking that right arm in. So now I've come up as high as I can body-wise. I can lift my head. Then from there, you're going to move from your legs. So you're going to start to take yourself across. Your left leg's going to turn out. Your right leg's going to turn in. And you end up coming round with the left foot pressing against your right thigh, like so. Do you like how I swung myself around there? That was fun. Now again, don't worry too much about what happens to the right hip. To start off with, you should have just the skin of your sitting bone touching the floor. But if it's really lifted, don't worry about it too much. It shouldn't be, but it should be okay, especially after everything that we've done with the hips. It should be a lot more open and able to sink. Now keep the sitting bone relaxed. Just really gently start to twist from this hip. As you twist, think of taking yourself up, like you're going away from your hip and up to the ceiling. Keep turning yourself. That hip's going to come with you. And then you're going to really gently bring both hands over to the left. So like my right hip has come completely off the floor. That's fine, because I'm trying to really go with my hip and with my spine. I don't want to force it. If I try and force that hip down, I'm going to overstretch everything around my sacrum, which you really don't want. And then from there, you can either stay here if this is more than enough, or you can take your elbows down. Then you get a little bit of an added belly massage. And just stay here for a couple of breaths. Try and really get your breath to move into the back of the body. One more breath. And then gently press into your hands. Walk your hands back so that you come out of that twist. And you're going to take yourself back the way that you came in. So you bring the legs back around, almost as if you're going to go and, lie on that other side. You're going to stretch the bottom leg out and take that left leg back across so you end up back on your belly. Okay? I know I've turned myself back around again. So, from this position, take your hands down beside your ribs. Press down into your feet and your knees, widen and lengthen through your shoulders. And then you're going to just lift yourself up onto all fours. So to lift up, try not to lift all the upper body and then leave the bum behind. You need to try to lift the bum and the shoulders together. So then you come right up into that all fours position. Now from this all fours position, can you spread your fingers nice and wide, press down through your finger pads and your knuckles, and then lengthen through your tailbone so you find that really great neutral spine, no rounding in the back. A nice length in the spine and no collapsing in the ribs, so you want to have it nice and long. Keep that length in the spine, then take your right hand forwards, about 1.5 hands length in front of you. You're then going to keep pressing down through your feet and take your left arm underneath you. Keep it in line with your chest, so don't take it that way. Keep it in line with your chest. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, think of moving not from your arm, but starting from your hips, like you did with the deer. You're going to start turning from your hips to start lengthening through your spine. As you lengthen through your spine, that left arm comes all the way across, your right arm bends, your head comes down. Then you can walk that right arm out in front of you. You're going to press down through your right hand, down through the back of your left arm, and try to hug both shoulders and arms into the sockets. Lengthen back through your pelvis, through your tailbone, and try to find that length in your spine. Take a nice deep breath here. And then walk your right hand back, push the right hand down, and lift yourself back up to your all fours position. And then we're going to do the other side. So take your left hand out in front of you, again about 1.5 hands length, and take your right arm underneath you, just in line with your chest, not too far back. Breathe in. As you breathe out, start to gently slide that arm away. Move a little from your hip, move through your spine, through your waist to come all the way down, and keep both feet down. Then walk your left arm out in front of you, press down through the back of your right arm, down into the hand of your left arm, and hug both arms into the sockets. Breathe into your ribs, lengthen through your spine and your tailbone. And then walk your left hand back in, push the left hand down to lift yourself back up onto all fours. Then you're going to tuck your toes under and bring your pelvis backwards, so we come into a little downward dog prep position. Now without moving your feet, just gently slide your knees back. That's going to give you a little more lift in your ankles, so you get a little bit more work in your legs. Now have your hands a little bit further forward, so you're going to create a little extra length, but only to the point where you really feel that you can keep your arm bones connected to the sockets. You want to keep them hugging in so that you feel you can work through the sides of your ribs. Now press down into your hands a lot and back through your feet a lot. As you do, you should feel a little vacuum or a little lift in your belly. That's going to give you, again, a little belly massage. You're going to keep that lift in the belly, pushing more into your hands until you feel your knees start to lift off the ground. Don't straighten your legs yet, just keep pushing into your hands, press your pelvis backwards so you feel a lot of length through the sides of the waist, and then you can start to straighten your legs. As you straighten your legs, you want to keep your inner thighs engaged, your ankles really engaged, to try to keep this vacuum and lift in the belly. Now from here, I want you to press down into your right hand quite a lot. As you press into it, can you hug your right arm into the socket? Can you keep lifting through your pelvis? Breathe in and take your left hand to your right ankle. And then from there, get my top to move out the way, you see if you can twist yourself around and keep your pelvis lifted. And then breathe in and come back to the center. Then you're going to press through your left foot, breathe in, gently lift your right leg and extend through that right leg without lifting the hip. Keep the hips in line. Then breathe in. As you breathe out, take your knee into your chest, round your back, and bring your foot between your hands so you end up in a lunge position. Now from your lunge position, can you press back through your heel, your back heel? Not necessarily to try and get it to the floor. Just imagine that you've got a wall behind you that you're pressing up against. Stay up on the fingertips of your left hand and then take your right hand to your lower back. With your hand here, really get in tune with what's happening with your pelvis. I want you to feel like you start moving from your left hip, from your tailbone, from your hand, to start really gently lengthening through your spine, moving through your pelvis, moving through your ribs, to very slowly take your belly and your ribs towards the inner thigh of your right leg. As you do, can you bend your right knee a little more? Hug that right leg back into the pelvis. And then you keep twisting until you feel you can take that right arm up without pushing the shoulder back. Breathe here. And then nice and gently take the arm down. You're going to very carefully place that back foot down onto the floor. Now if you feel you cannot get that back heel down onto the ground with the length that you're in right now, you can take that back foot a tiny bit further forwards, just a tiny bit. Then turn the foot out a little, press the outer edge of the back heel down, bend your front knee and bring yourself up. So now you're in a warrior one position with your legs. Root even more through the outer edge of your back heel and bend your front knee more. Then you're going to inhale and reach up through the sides of your waist, through your arms, lengthening through your fingertips. Now can you squeeze your feet towards each other as you push your back foot down more and get your back hip to come forward, your front hip to come back. So both hips are facing forwards. Keep working through your back leg, that's your really important leg. Now as you keep squeezing the legs together, engage this front leg. Pull up through your inner thigh, through the front of your thigh, and draw that leg right back into the pelvis to straighten it. So it's not just straightening from the knee. Now you're going to keep this length through the sides of the waist and the body, and you're going to lift your hip bones up and over that front leg. Feel like you're literally pulling your pelvis up and then you're taking it over. As you do, you're pushing even more through that back foot. You're squeezing your feet together even more, so you're keeping both inner thighs really engaged. As you keep hinging at your hips, look forwards, get longer, don't look down to the ground. You can keep your arms out in front of you and really lengthen through the sides of the waist. Then stop where you are, squeeze your legs together, take your right hand to your lower back again, and again, can you move from where your hand is, lengthening all the way from your pelvis to hug that left hip round to the right. As you keep hugging that left hip round to the right, your spine starts to twist. Your waist starts to twist. Your belly and your ribs start to come to the inner thigh of your front leg. You keep your back heel down and you take your left hand to the outside of that front leg. And then we're in a beautiful Parivrtta Trikonasana, so a twisted triangle. Keep rooting the outer edge of that back heel down, twisting even more if you can. And then breathe in, come back to the center, bend your front knee, take your hands either side of the front foot and come back onto the toes of your back foot. And then gently bring it back into your downward dog. Ah, lovely. Now from here, again, can you press down into your hands, back through your ankles and engage your legs to lift your legs up into the pelvis. See if again you can find that little vacuum in your belly. Now really press through your left arm, engaging the left arm up into the ribs. Take your right hand off, reach for your left ankle. As you do, keep lifting through your hips and see if you can twist yourself around from the pelvis, through the spine, through to the ribs. Take it back, press through your right foot, slowly lift your left leg as an extension of the body. Don't lift the hip and take it up on top of the right one. Keep it in line. Bend the knee as you exhale. You take yourself forwards and round your back and step that foot between your hands. Good. Then from here, again, stay up on the toes of that back foot. Keep your right fingertips on the ground. Breathe in and then lift and lengthen through your chest. Now take your left hand to your lower back, to your sacrum. Again, focus on what is happening here. Try to really feel like you're lifting and lengthening from your spine, right down from your tailbone. You're trying to move almost from your right hip to then start lengthening through your spine and start twisting through the ribs. to take the belly and the ribs to the inside of that front thigh. Bend your front knee a bit more, but straighten your back leg even more. Keep twisting till you feel you can lift that arm without doing this. Keep it in line with the body. Take it back to the center. And then very gently, you'd bring that back foot a teeny weeny bit forwards so you can turn the foot out and bring the outer heel down. Then lift up into your warrior one position. Root into the outer edge of that back heel. That's the most important point. Straighten your back leg. Squeeze your legs towards each other without bending this knee. So it's not this. You keep that heel down. You squeeze the hips together. And you breathe. You keep rooting that back heel, bend your front knee a bit more, and then inhale, reach up through your arms. Lengthen through the belly, the hips, the sides of the waist. And keep trying to get your back hip forwards, your front hip back. Then you keep that position in your hips. You engage your left inner thigh, the front of your left thigh, and you pull that leg back into the pelvis to straighten it, so you don't do it from your knee. Then you squeeze your inner thighs together even more. You lift your hip bones up and over the leg. So then you can hinge right from here, right from your hip crease to take you forwards. You keep working your right leg even more, the heel. You squeeze your inner thighs together even more. You stay where you are, placing your left hand on your lower back, right arm out in front of you. Start moving again from your pelvis. Let that right hip hug around to the left. As it does, you're starting to move through the spine. You're starting to move through the waist, to turn your belly and your ribs to the inner thigh of that front leg. Then you take your right arm to the outside of that left leg. You breathe in, you see if you can twist a bit further as you keep rooting your feet into the ground. And then come back to the center. Take your hands either side of the front foot, lift onto the toes of the back foot, step it back into your downward dog. Press back through your ankles, up through your legs, and really lengthen through the sides of the waist. You should have so much more space in your waist right now. So much more length in your hips and your legs right now. Now from this position, breathe in and come right up onto your toes, and then really gently walk your feet to your hands. Let your knees bend, your heels sink into the floor, drop your head. And then take a nice deep breath in. As you breathe out, can you lift through all the muscles in your legs? Pull those muscles up into your pelvis to straighten your legs. So you're not overstretching from your hamstrings. You're really working your legs to pull the legs up into the sockets. And then you're going to bend your knees very slowly. Take yourself down onto your bottom. Good. Now very gently stretch your left leg out in front of you, not your right one. Keep that one bent. Then I want you to grab a hold of that right foot. Just gently slide it back and keep your heel in line with your sitting bone. So it's not going to be right up against that left leg. It's going to be a little bit further out to the side. Now you're going to flex your left foot. You're going to push that foot down into the ground as if someone's standing on your ankle. As you do that, can you then feel like you're lifting up taller? You should. If this leg is doing nothing, it kind of makes you slump a bit. If you push that left leg down, it makes you get taller. Then as it pushes down, imagine it pushing back into your left hip. As it pushes back into your left hip, it doesn't come out of the socket, but you start to really gently move from your left hip to start moving through your spine, moving through your tailbone. Think of all the twisting we've done already. You're moving right from here to start taking your pelvis around. Then you want to feel like you're taking your right hip away from your inner thigh. You're trying to move that right hip and create space in there. Then the more you twist, you take your right hand back behind you. Keep pressing down and away with that left leg, so it's that makes you grow taller. Keep twisting yourself around till you can't twist anymore. Then you can either wrap the elbow around this leg, or you can take the outer elbow right to the outside of that knee. Walk that right hand back a little more, and then keep pushing down through that left heel. See if again can you let yourself twist and lengthen all the way from your tailbone to the top of your chest. Then you keep turning, making yourself grow taller as you turn, and then the last thing to turn is your head. And it doesn't even have to turn. That is literally the last thing to turn. Keep pushing the arm up against the leg up against the arm. And then slowly take it back. It's a really great deep twist. Then you're going to slide your right leg out, slide your left leg in. And again, just grab a hold of the ankle, slide the foot in a bit closer, and keep it in line with your sitting bone. Not closer, not right up next to that right thigh. You need space between them. Flex your right foot. Again, notice what happens. If you're not working that right foot, you're very kind of slumped and relaxed. If you push it down, as if someone's standing on it, suddenly you grow taller. It's like somebody standing on it makes you grow 2 inches taller. Then you keep hugging that leg into the socket, but at the same time, start moving from your right hip, lengthening through your pelvis to really gently start to twist yourself around. You want to keep trying to hug that leg in, but at the same time, let yourself move right from your sacrum and your tailbone. As you keep twisting, you're coming to the inside of that left thigh. Your left hand comes back behind you, and then either wrap that right elbow around the left leg or take the right elbow to the outside of that left leg. Try to keep the shoulder down. If doing that makes this happen, don't do that. Just go with this. Otherwise, keep the elbow round, relax the shoulder. Lift out of the fingertips of your back arm. Breathe in, keep working that right leg down into the ground. See if you can twist yourself a bit further. See if you can start to take the left hip away from the left inner thigh, and then the last thing to turn is your head. And then breathe in, take it back to the centre, and stretch that leg out. Well, I have to say I do definitely feel like I have twisted a lot and I've really worked through my belly. So now we're going to come and lie down, have a little rest, and do one last twist before we do a Shavasana. Take your arms out to the sides, about shoulder height, not higher, just about there. If anything, you want to go a bit lower than shoulder height. Then really gently, you're going to take your right leg in line with your midline, lift your left leg and cross it over. Don't worry about wrapping the foot around the ankle, just keep that cross. Then lift your pelvis and shift it over to the left. Breathe in, lift your legs, keep your feet slightly engaged but don't point the toes, just relax the toes. And then take your knees across to your right elbow. Let the legs relax down, breathe in and turn your head to the left. After all that twisting, hopefully you feel like you can keep your left shoulder down a bit more, and you can get a bit longer in the sides of your waist. I love this twist so much. Just feels so nice and relaxing. And then take the legs back. Bring the pelvis back to the centre and uncross that ankle. Then walk the left foot in line with your midline. Cross the right leg over. Again, don't worry about wrapping the foot around, just keep the legs crossed. Lift the pelvis, shift it over to the right. Then lift the legs, breathe in. Keep the feet engaged without pointing your toes, and then gently take the legs across to the left. Let your right shoulder relax. Gently turn your head to the right. Close your eyes and breathe. And then nice and gently, legs come back to the centre, feet come down, pelvis comes back to the centre, and then slide your legs away from you. Let your arms come down a little bit further, keep the palms turned up to the ceiling and just close your eyes. Allow your breath to become very natural now. Now you can stay here a bit longer, or you can bend your knees, gently roll onto your right side and bring yourself up to sitting. And that's it for day 15. I hope you feel just as wonderful as I do. Take your hands together. Namaste. Don't forget to subscribe, like below, share if you loved it, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 16.